you're really into art. You've always been into art.
Yeah. I can't sing worth a shit, so I was, even growing up in high school or going through school, I always excelled in art. So just the creative process, drawing, I drew everything as a kid, painting, I did all kinds of paintings as a kid. So I think that's what kind of led into the creativity of everything, be surrounded by art. I haven't drawn anything, haven't painted anything, shit, since I was probably in middle school. But as a kid, I drew on everything.
What do you think that's the main inspiration for doing the car stuff?
Just creative outlet, it's just something, it's just like anything else. You can do any kind of customizing, any kind of art, it's yours, it's your thought process, you're making one of one. The painting that you paint there's not a one out there like that. It may be similar, but that's one of one, And you see something, I want to change it, I want to do this to it, I've seen something else done. You can build two cars, but cars, paintings, everything, it's never going to be the same. And so it's basically, to me, the art, building anything, carpentry-wise, building cars, it's just the process, it's the work that you put in, and you get done with it, and you stand back and look at it and you say, I built that, my hands built that, my vision did, and my drive made that happen. And to me, that's a gratifying thing. Just like cars, I'm not much of a driving, cruising around car. I'll get my cars out every once in a while, cruise around in them, but that's not my main focus. I like the process of building more than I like to drive. I'm not much of a car show guy. To me, I was always working. That was my time to weekends or something like that to actually work on my cars. To me, to hop in a car and drive to a car show or cruise night and sit and pull out a lawn chair and sit, to me, that's a waste of my time. I had shit to do. And so I never really have been a car show guy or, but just create a process, the evolution of building. I want to set goals next week. All right, this is what I want to get done next week, get done next week, get that. And that's the way I've always been with anything, really. It's just, all right, I'm getting close on this, what's the next project? Which drives a lot of people nuts, drives me nuts, because then I get this constant going of feeling like I'm behind. But keeps me busy, keeps me out of trouble.
But you're ahead because you got 36 cars and everybody else has one. But also for a long time.
I've been working on this for 3 years.
Yeah.
Granted, if I stopped everything I was doing and focused full time, this would have been run a year ago.
Right.
But life gets in the way. I've got other jobs, got other stuff I got to do. Bought the building across the street. I've got to work on. I'm doing that tomorrow, working on that. So just constantly, everything's going, but it's not at a focused pace, I guess, would you say?
Yeah, you can't.
Squirrel.
You can't.
Everybody says you're
squirrels at a turtle's pace or whatever they say.
It's part of the condition, what they call it. I don't know what they call it, but I probably got it.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
All of them. Probably do.
I just haven't been diagnosed yet. Probably should have been taking Adderall years ago. Didn't know it.
I don't know. As a recovering speed addict, I don't recommend you be on speed because you probably get more cars done.
Fucking you need to sleep.
And this, what is this that you've been working on here?
34 Ford. Bought this. It kind of same thing. I built a buddy of mine. Found out him and his wife were pregnant with twins. They had a house out there near your door with Jimmy Flowers, and they decided they wanted to stay in their house, so they wanted to make a room addition on their house. And it's one of the things I agreed I'll do it. And then Jimmy's, he's Model A 34, 33, 34 guy. I mean, the guy's cranks him out, knows his shit, knows every in and out, every trick in the book. And this has been my holy grail of cars. I always wanted 34 Ford. Anybody knows anything about 34 Fords, the most expensive fucking cars to buy, build, as far as that. So Jimmy had one, and we worked out a deal. It was like I was gonna get his 34 Ford as partial payment on that root edition. Ended up working out, and then got it, and then just been slowly for the past 3 years, chopped the top on it, trying to put it all back together, trying to buy parts. But it's just one of those things I'll get my free time, come out here. Usually it's winter time, it's too cold to do anything else outside. Plan on working a lot on it this winter, but just kind of focus on it, keep it going. But eventually, it'll be, like I said, I gave up on deadlines. But when it's done, it's done. Drive it, be on to the next one.
I'm the same way. My vans, you know, I had a heart attack on my way to come get a damn tool from you a little over a year ago. So since then, I haven't worked on that van that much, but I get same way, like, okay, I'll get this thing done. When it's done, then I can get to that. But I'm also not gonna, you know.
Well, like I say, it'll get done. I mean, that's the thing, but it'll just get done. And that's what I like about the process of hanging around people that are like-minded, that are doing the exact same thing. I'll get burnt out on something. And then I'm so sick and tired of looking at this freaking car or doing this. I'm waiting on a part, or I need something that's holding you up. And that's where the process of just walking past it every day. And a lot of guys, do that shit. Got these cars been sitting in the garage for years, And it's just that one little thing, or that one, I don't know how to do something, or I can't figure out how to do something. And it'll stop a project. Literally stop it. I mean, for days, turns into weeks, turns into months, turns into years. The next thing you know, you got a car parked in the garage full of car seats on top, you can't see it. And it's all started because of that one stopping point. But if you hang around guys that are building constantly, and that have got, skill set that you don't know, and it's like brainstorm, hey, I got this problem, or hey, something, and it might be simple as, well, fucking move that. Why can't you take that and put it over here and do that? And like a light bulb will go off, and you're like, oh shit, that'll work. I didn't think about that. And that'll get you right back on it again. So you hang around guys, even if you get burnt out in your car, and they're the same way. It keeps it going. I'll go hang out with somebody, or I'll call Jimmy or something. Hey, what are you working on? What are you doing? Call Kaz. What are you doing? Well, come down and help me out with this. And you go down there, work on his car a little bit, get to hanging around, get him over that next level, and it gives you a little bit of boost. And shit, I'm gonna go work on my car. And that's the thing, is that like-minded group of friends that are talented or have different skill sets just keeps you motivated, keeps everything going. It keeps you motivated, keeps them motivated. It gets everybody to that next level, keep going. And it's just the process of building. And that's what, like I say, it goes back to what I enjoy, is the problem solving. How do I do this? How do I do that? I've never done this. We can figure out how to do it, it can't be that hard. And that's how you just got to do it. That's how you just keep going and going and going.
What do you think is there an end game ever, or is it always just,
to me, no.
I'll just continue to build until I can't build anymore?
I keep dreaming about this day I'm retired. I've got 8 years left in the Carpenters Union, I can retire. Then I think about it, it's like, all right, retire. What's retirement mean? To me, I don't see any stopping, honestly. I mean, because I enjoy it. I enjoy the process of building, whether it's carpentry, cars, anything else, helping people out. That's the process I enjoy. So I may retire from the Carpenters Union so I get this miraculous check where I don't have to drive to Kansas City every day, but that don't mean I'm gonna roll up and sit and watch Family Feud every day. I'll probably be more busy than I am now, you know,
Because then you'd be more of your own man at that point.
yeah. And that's why I kind of come to realization. I kind of told myself, you know, because like I say, I've got that Plymouth sitting back there 12 years, and it's literally, I've got hustled on it, got it, worked on it, solid. That car could be running within a year, driving, done within a year. And I was just like, you know what, screw it, I'm not worried about deadlines anymore. I'll set that back, I'll have plenty of time to do it. Now granted, I don't drop dead tomorrow, but, and then it'll go to somebody else, and somebody else will finish it, and it'll keep going, but.
I'm pretty big on like trying to let people know that anybody can do this.
And that's the thing, I mean, and that's the thing about it is, and like I say, I mean, I never went to school for any of this, all self-taught. I never went to welding school. I could weld, I could fabricate. I'm a shitty body man, but I could probably get it done. And it's all self-taught. I mean, you don't have to have millions of dollars. I don't have millions of dollars to do whatever I want. It's all budget allowed and time allowed. But that's it. I mean, it's like I say, you hang around. If you're interested in something, you want to build something, surround yourself by like-minded people that have that skill set. There ain't a person in the world, if somebody comes up and say, hey, I know you how to do this for a living. You know, I'm stuck here. How do I do it? That guy will teach you. Anybody will teach you if you're willing to learn. And that's the thing, you gotta surround yourself by people like that and you'll learn. But I mean, it just goes on with anything else. I mean,
I think I learned that from you too, because you never, though there's an age gap, you've never had an ego and you've never been like, oh no, you're not, like, you've always respected me. I can only speak for myself and what I do for a living. And likewise, I think I've learned that from you, is that like, oh, I could learn something from anyone.
yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah,
I
you
can
pass it
learn.
on. I mean, that's the thing, what's all this knowledge and skill if you want to be a stuck-up asshole and critique and criticize something that everybody else does, but you don't want to help them better themselves, or you want to teach them, you know, hey, you know, that's cool, but let me show you a better way. It's like my job, over the years as a carpenter, like I said, I'm a foreman, run big crews, and honestly, I mean, I've taught some pretty badass carpenters right now of the stuff that I've learned throughout the years. You know, so you pass on that knowledge, and you don't, you know, create some good people that, you know, that can make a living doing what they're doing, you know, and create some badass shit, you know. You don't have to buy anything. You can build anything. You can take that combine out there and put it next to a Ferrari, and the guy in the Ferrari's gonna get out and look at that goddamn combine. You know, he bought that car for a couple $100,000. You built that car, you probably maybe had 20 grand in it. You know, is it, and what's cool is cool. You know, you can't buy it, you can build it. If people like it, they don't, who gives a shit? Go build your own, you know?
Yeah, I feel like the people that sit around all the time always nitpicking what everybody else are doing, they're generally the people that don't have anything to nitpick. They've never done anything.
Yeah, just like we used to did the car show. You always get the guys that come up, I think you ought to do this, I think you ought to do that. I have no respect at all for anybody like that. If a guy comes up there and he's busting, sweating his ass off, running around all weekend with me, and he comes up with a suggestion, I think we ought to do this, that's got respect, because you're out here with me, you're out here doing it, you know, and you probably got a badass idea. But the guy just walking up to you and, I think you ought to do this, I think you need to fuck off and leave. That's my attitude. You either jump in with me or you're not.
Yeah, I was speaking to someone else we know a few nights ago on the phone about how I try to not surround myself with anyone that if I do go to a car show, if the first thing you do is go find all the things you don't like,
Yeah.
then you're probably not the person I should be hanging out with, because I'm more interested in what you like than what you don't like.
Yeah.
You know, so
Everybody's got a different view of what they think's cool or what suits them. And that's the thing. I can appreciate anything that anybody's done. You look at a car, you might not like it, but you notice what they did. You know, how they changed something, you know, how something different. You might not like, well, those taillights really don't fit that car. But you gotta look at it as like, it took a lot of work to make that taillight fit on that car. And that's what I can appreciate. I might not like it, but I'm not gonna go up to the guy.
you don't always have to like the style, but you can respect the
The
craftsmanship.
craftsmanship. The knowledge and problem solving it took to make that fit. Now, whether you might not like it or not, but you respect it. That took some work figuring that out and how to do that and how to make it work. And it works. The guy might think it's the coolest thing in the world. You might think it's gay as hell. But respect what the time, the thought process, and the actual fabrication he took to make that happen. That's what I respect. That's what I like. You know, it's just that kind of acknowledging, you know, the customizing part of it, you know, the art part of it, you know.
Yeah, it's no different. A car is no different than a painting or a sculpture.
Yeah.
It's all in perception.
Yeah.
And so it's just how a person perceives it. And I've had to learn this over the years, because you start out in the industry and you're so concerned about what everybody thinks. Oh, what is it? And then I got to a point in the last few years finally where it's like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Because if you like it, that's cool. If you don't like it, that's cool too.
Yeah. Just like you go to Chicago when you go, they got that big sculpture, the bean. It's big, huge, massive. Looks like a kidney bean, but it's mirror polished stainless steel. And he's like, what the hell's this? Why in the hell would somebody make, you know, however big it is? I mean, it's bigger than a goddamn bus. Polished beam. And you're just like, well, stupid. Well, then you think about it, it's like, God, they had to weld that together. They had to polish that damn thing to a mirror shine. That massive. And then you look at it through that point of view, and you're standing there in awe and just like, how in the hell do they do that? You know. But then you look at it as just, why a fucking beam?
Right.
The whole thing.
yeah. You just have to change your own perception on it. To be
Just
like,
like, what? But yeah, but just the process of going there, it's like, can you imagine doing that? You know? And that's the kind of, like I say, you just look it through a different kind of point of view. You might not have to like it or agree with it or wonder why, but the process that it took to do that, you just stand like, Jesus Christ, how long did that take? How much welding did they do to make that size? And it's just like anything else, you know, just the process of doing it, you know, whether you like something or you don't, the process of how they got there is what you got to appreciate. And that's what I like about customs. I mean, custom cars, guys that actually get out and do shit. Same thing with carpentry. Guy builds this crazy ass deck, you know, does everything oddball and shape, and you're just like, yeah, it's weird as shit. I might not have done it. I really don't like it, but yeah, it took a shit ton of time to work to get that all framed in right and get it where it looks cool. But
that's kind of how your Econoline is to most people, I'd probably say. They look at it, they're like, what the hell is this? And then you're like, wait, hold on, the roof's really short and it has these big ass tires on it, and it's totally different than what any of those. You did it more like a van from the 70s.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
And most people try to make it a shop truck from the 50s and 60s, you know?
Yeah. And there's people that like it, and people think it's the stupidest thing in the world. The guy up the street got all the 34s. He said, "Yeah, that's kind of cool, Dave, but man, it's weird." I was like, "Well, that's cool.
That's
Cool. That's your opinion."
yeah.
That's cool.
Isn't that the guy that's always drunk on wine and stoned? He was just out there honking his horn when I showed over. He's just out there honking his horn.
But still, I mean, that's your opinion. That's cool. I mean, it's I didn't. If you like it, you like it. You don't. I don't care. You know.
You do live in a weird ass place.
Weird ass place.
Because you live in this small town in between, it's essentially you're in between Lawrence and Kansas City, but it's this weird old small town.
Yeah.
But literally, like, everyone here has a hot rod, it seems like.
Yeah. I mean, this is a cool ass down to 800. You don't drive to McLeod for anything on purpose. I just found out here, obviously you're probably a year, and wife's son, he goes, "Oh, that's the place that's got the Rockin Road." And she asked me, she goes, "Where's the Rockin Road?" I said, "I have no idea what the hell you're talking about." And he goes, "I've seen it on roadside landmarks or some shit like that about, you know, the crazy, you know, biggest ball of twine, you know, or the, you know, big arrow sticking out of the ground." McLeod, Kansas, where I live here, is famous for the Rockin Road. And if you drive about 2 blocks that way, there's a big, massive granite boulder. When they were laying the city out, they couldn't dynamite it, couldn't cut it, and shit like that. So basically, they paved the road around this rock that sticks out in the middle of the road. They said it used to be 3 foot high, but it was worn down so it's about 2 foot high. It's about 2 foot high, 3 foot wide, about 3 foot wide, solid red granite rock sticking out of the middle of a residential street over here. And that's what McLeod is famous for. My only idea is just like, how lazy of a fucking town you gotta be where you just say, "Screw it, let's just put the road around it." But yeah, that's what this town's famous for, of all things. But it's a peaceful little town, nothing happens out here. I work in Kansas City with the chaos of Kansas City and got an hour drive home. And peaceful, everybody knows everybody waves at each other, and cool ass place.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it.
That's the world according to Dave.
That's the world according to Dave.
Fucking sad, isn't it?
I don't know if it's sad. When we started this, you said you're trying to talk to the guy who won't talk at all, and here we are, 50, almost 60 minutes later.
I wonder why my jaw hurt.
Oh, I appreciate it, Dave.